Pregame.com.
Miami Marlins at the Philadelphia Phillies, Friday Night Baseball. VR, this is going to be my best bet. I'm going to be on Miami here. I'll pick it up in a second. Go ahead and give me a short point on what to look at. You're the old Philly boy here.
I'm going to tell you what, I got to disagree with you here a little bit, and here's the reason why. Philadelphia, to me, is a team that you want to start backing very soon here, especially when they're playing at home, if you don't have to lay too much chalk, and here's why. They're only 11-13 at home, and we know the good teams in baseball win around 57-58% of their home games. I consider the Phillies a good home team. So this is someone that's been playing below what they're capable of playing. So if I could get them at home, not having to lay much to do so, I'm going to have to back Philly. And you know the Marlins, they're a team that's that sexy pick this year. Coming into the season, a lot of people were talking Marlins. They're just 27-22, which is a great record, 2.5 back in the NL East. But look at that Pythagorean wins. They're plus 2.5, meaning they've won 2.5 games more than they should have based on runs scored, runs allowed. This is a 500 team that's playing, that's showing on the records that they're much better than they really are.
Well, I agree with you that Philadelphia is going to have the buy sign here, the rest of the season, that they definitely underperformed. And once they start getting some of the injured players back, this is a team that definitely is flying under the radar, is better than their record. However, I'm the situational guy, and we've got a situation galore here. Started off, this is my favorite situation. You've got Philadelphia returning home off of a road trip.
Yeah.
Okay? First game back home off a road trip, I want to go against that team. It's a disruption. You're coming back home, you got the family, the wife, the kids, the whole, it's a distraction. On the flip side, Miami's going on the road. This is the first game of their road trip. That's the game you're the most focused, for just the opposite of everything I just said about the team returning home from a road trip. Team going out.
Finally you don't got the girlfriend, the wife, and the kids out of your hair.
Exactly. That's one. Two, Miami, you pointed out that they're just around a 500 ball club. True. They started the season out slow.
Yeah.
Right now, we're taping on Tuesday, so there's a couple days of results to go on top of this number. But as we tape, they are on a 19-8 run the last 27. They're playing their best ball of the season right now.
No, I agree, and I backed them a couple times during that run because they were offering value. People jumped off that bandwagon, and that's when you want to buy a team that's a quality team. I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're a quality team. They're above average even. But what I'm saying is this isn't a fade on Miami. It's more of a backing of Philadelphia. I just think at home, and I understand the situational part, coming back from a road trip, I just think at home, it's not a team I want to get ahead of right now because they're only 11-13 at home. And here's a team that takes pride in winning at home. I've been to Philly. I've gone to Phillies games. And, it's an event there, and for this team to be below 500 right now, I think you're going to get a pretty focused, mindset from them anytime they could, get a win at home.
I can't disagree with you, but in this game, I also have Mark Burley pitching for
Stud
Miami
this year.
Well, in going in, and one of the reasons for that, and I was high on him, a lot of the radio shows and podcasts that I've done this year, I expected a big year out of Mark Burley.
More wins than Anibal Sanchez.
Left-hander switching leagues. It's almost, again, going to a situational play. I talk about when a rookie comes up, I like to ride the rookies because they've got an advantage over the hitters. First time through the league, the hitters aren't familiar with them. The pitcher has the advantage. Well, I thought Mark Burley would enjoy that same type of success, even though he's been around a long time. He's pitched his whole career in the American League. Other than, the few interleague games, most of the teams that he'd be facing this year, he's going to be facing them maybe only for the first or second time in his career. That's an advantage to Burley. So I like him. Also, Kendrick's going for Philadelphia. He's coming off a career game in his last start. Complete game shutout against the world champion St. Louis Cardinals in St. Louis in his last outing. I can't see him matching the same.
He doesn't qualify like we in our last video where we talked about a pitcher who may be about to get on a streak. He's not that kind of quality starter, you're saying, where he's going to get hot and stay hot.
You normally would say it, but when a guy has such, first of all, how often do you see complete games in the major leagues
Yeah,
these days?
no, Kendrick isn't a number 2 even,
Right.
you know what I mean?
When you get a guy who has such a big game like that, I like to fade guys that have great games at Yankee Stadium. When you get a young pitcher that goes to Yankee Stadium and pitches a good game, I want to fade him in his next start because he's not going to have that same intensity. Or I also like to match up, like if somebody goes up against the Verlander, for example, and you beat him, you're not going to have that same intensity in your next start. These guys are human beings. I put all of that together. That wraps up, for me, the Miami Marlins. I still think of them as the Florida Marlins.
I don't know how you didn't say it when we started. When you said Miami Marlins, I'm like, what's he talking about?
But I'm going with the Miami Marlins. I'm looking for them as long as they're a dog in this game, which they're going to be. Philadelphia's going to come out. It's going to be a small favorite.
There's always value on dogs, man. I can't disagree.
Take the dogs. All I got to do is win 50%. I'm right 50% of the time. I'm cashing some change.
Make a ton of money, especially when a team's over 500.
So we're going to take Miami Marlins with Mark Burley on Friday night. That is my video best bet of the week. And as you know, when we have a video best bet, we give you a coupon. And unfortunately, I forgot to give our producer the coupon before we went on air. So it's Miami 10. Miami 10. We'll see how fast he can get that up. But that is the coupon. And VR, you know the drill. You go to pregamepros.com, put anything you want in your shopping cart, enter that coupon code Miami 10, and you'll get $10 off the package. And if it's $10, what happens?
Drinks are on the house.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen often. Hope RJ's not listening. But Miami 10 is the coupon code once again. Thanks for watching this week. We're going to be back later in the week. I'll be in the studio with Scott Spreitzer. We'll look at the weekend action for you here on pregame.tv.